If they're gonna cancel me, they're gonna cancel me. I don't care. Go ahead, do it. Why are we gonna talk about it? You know why. This is the Randy Savagery Show. It's about the love. It's about the passion. I'm trying to make it through life, but this shit is tough.
Saw you yesterday with an old friend. It was the same old same, how have you been? Since you've been gone, my world's been dark and gray. Y'all remember that one? You know what I'm saying? I put your pictures away. Sat down and cried today. It's a Kid Rock one, baby. I just called to say I love you and to come back home. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what do you had that line that was, what do you say? She was like, I was off to drink you away. That's it, baby, yeah. That's when he really kicks in on that one, you know what I'm saying? When he does, I was off to drink you away. That's when you know it's really like getting into it. And you really feel the essence of, the essence of the kid, baby. And speaking of the kid, you got the kid right in front of you, Randy Savagery. Welcome to the Randy Savagery Show. Yeah, so today we are going to be going over seven things that we all could make choices in engaging in that I do believe could enrich each one of our lives. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. Check my phone. I got it on my cellular device. Oh, un momento, por favor. So I went over these and I wrote them down and I sent them over to this phone in an attachment. And yeah, I think that they'd be very important. And I also want to make the distinction. I believe all these things can be very beneficial no matter what race you are and no matter what cultural set you are, all right? But the first one I'm going to do for myself is number one, research your family genealogy. Now, I know that's not important to a lot of people, and I definitely know most black people don't know their genealogy. They just know in their head, you know, I'm gonna send it a slave. You know what I mean? Even Afro-Latino people, black Dominican people like us, we know we're from slaves. You know what I mean? We had slaves before America did, you know? We were the first Americas and the first slave colony. We were the first slave colony to revolt. Like 90% of Dominicans have African diaspora genetics inside of them. So, you know, we know about that. Yeah, but I think it's really important because at least in my own personal journey and history of, you know, researching this type of stuff, when my grandfather died, I wanted to secure a plot of land of inheritance from him. And in the process of doing that, I learned a lot about my family history when it comes to the Dominican side and when it comes to the Gully Gutchie people that were in South Carolina, that are all a part of my, what makes up me. I don't really know a lot about my dad's side. It's funny because I just asked because I do want to know. It's important to me to know, you know, the white side, the colored side, every part of me. I would like to just get the history, you know. So if you guys are interested in doing this, because so if you are, you know, a descendant of slaves, when they freed our ancestors, there was a person that walked around and they transcribed to the best of their ability your ancestors' experience. It's like their last rendition, you know, before they're free people. And I strongly suggest that Black people definitely should see that type of strength that's within their genetics, within their genealogy, you know, so within them. But yeah, so some of the things that I used was Ancestry.com. It's harder to find Dominican death records because there's different periods where the French took over the island of Hispaniola. So there was lots of records that were destroyed, and then also some Dominican people, their records would be in France. My grandfather, who's Dominican, his last name Goss, right? And Goss is a French name, and even though he's Dominican, they speak French on one side of the island. You know, they spoke Spanish on the other, and depending on who you were a slave for, you got their surname. You know, those surnames, like when your name is like, you know, Gutierrez or Nunes or any of that stuff, Gonzalez, all of those are Spaniard surnames given to you from your slave master. I think it's important that we all, you know, we keep that in mind. But anyways, I don't want to make it a sad thing. Honestly, quite informative. It's pretty cool, dude. You might find out some badass stuff about your family, or horrible things about people in your genetic code. All right, let's get into it. So the next one is number 2. Record. So this is for me, but I think it will benefit even if you're super fit. You already know. But record your current body weight, health markers, and measurements, and increase your physical health. So for me, you know, I come from a past of bodybuilding, powerlifting. Right now, I'm 241 fat pounds, you know, and I'm body shaming myself. You know, I around 190 pounds, quite solid. You know what I mean? 6-pack, very fit. So, you know, that means I have over 50 pounds to lose. But I think that's one thing that should be on all of our spectrum right now when it comes to your resolutions, because, you know, we're going through a global pandemic. And during that, we know vaccines are amazing. They're a miracle, and ivermectin's a miracle. Everything's a miracle. But we know that the most negatively affected people off of the virus is fatties, man. Fatties like me. You know, the science shows that we don't make antibodies as well. It attacks the lungs, so obese people have a higher propensity of not having a high lung capacity. If you have high body fat, then you're probably not burning. It's not even about burning, but you're probably not increasing your heart rate for prolonged periods of time. You know, it's not usually inducive with being, you know, massively obese, unless you're a lineman for the NFL or something. They are, but you know, so people like me, we're really the bad news. We're the bad company, you know, of the country. But so that's why it's number 2 on mine, because I want to, you know, I want to feel better. You know, I know what it feels like to be extremely shredded, ripped, strong. You know, I know what it feels like. So, you know, at least for right now, I feel like I want to get a little bit of that back in my life. You know. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 3, right? 3rd chakra. Accepting the possibility of monetary collapse and understanding the ins and outs of digital currency. So, digital currency, cryptocurrency, Ethereum, Bitcoin, choose your poison, right? It's very apparent that over 40% of our money supply was printed last year. Sorry, I'm about to fall over. Yeah. Funny money, guys. Funny money. So the Federal Reserve is just printing out of control. Every single time the Federal Reserve creates more money, what it does is it creates a larger economic error. There is a bridge and divide of what the money's true value is in comparison to the debt that they're racking up and the devaluation by causing oversupply of the money. You see, guys, this is what people don't understand. They think we can just print all willy-nilly. What they can do is print all willy-nilly to line their pockets. You know what I mean? You want to print $10 million, $50 million, and then you want to hide it somewhere or offshore it in different accounts. There's many tricks of the trade that these Congress people that get paid minimal amounts as government officials, but they're worth millions and millions of dollars, that they do these things. Now, it's a big difference when you want to use that same mechanism to try to feed the poor and try to clothe the poor. And the reason is because you're doing it to the whole system. You see, $50 million in the scheme of the entire Federal Reserve, guys, chump change. It's nothing. I mean, to us, it's everything, but it's easy to get away with adding that small amount to the air. What we did last year by printing so much money, I think Newmark, Germany has gone through it one time. I mean, I think there's a few examples in history. You guys go do the research. You know what? And tell me if you think I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Go ahead and leave that in the comments. If you guys think that that we're not printing too much money and that everything is hunky-dory and that your value of your dollar is staying the way it is, and you have nothing to worry about, leave a comment. Or if you kind of agree with what I'm saying or you got some more to add to it, baby. Come on, let's go. All right, let's go to the next one. Number 4, leave your trauma bonds in 2021. So a lot of us either got into relationships, you know what I'm saying? We made friendships, we did a lot of things. What I'm trying to say is that there's a few people that I met in quarantine that it's like, now, everyone's vaccinated. You can go out unvaccinated in Michigan where we live and stuff. And when you start doing that, you start going back in the fresh air, you start to really realize, like, damn, I don't like this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Whatever that is. Maybe it's a guy you started jogging with. Maybe it's your spouse. Maybe it's your mom. You know what I mean? You guys got close or whatever. You realize why you always hated her. I don't know. But what I do know is that trauma bonds have been very real, man. And I am a person who enjoys loyalty. So, when I get into a little trauma bond situation, it's a good trick of trying to get me to cement into it, And I don't know, it's not good, man. So, I ain't nothing, and y'all definitely ain't nothing. So let's just try to be nothing together and get the traumatic individuals that are stuck in our lives out of our lives. You feel me? You don't need the stress. You don't need the stress. No. You don't need that stress. All right. So number 5 on the list, right? 5th chakra. Abstain from placing judgment on those who have received COVID-19 vaccines and on those who have not, right? So I don't even want to get into my personal political belief and if I think vaccines are good or bad or whatever. But all I'm saying is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you would be lying if you are unvaccinated right now, and maybe you go to play basketball with your boys, and one got vaccinated, and you're like, all right, let's say he's 3 vaccinations deep, right, boosters and everything. He feels perfectly fine. Somewhere in the back of your head makes you wonder, well, are they really that safe? You know what I'm saying? Or is this nigga dumb? You know what I'm saying? Is this gonna be the last pickup game I'm gonna see Primo? Be out of here. I think though that these things are a trick and these things are bad. And I think that if you are vaccinated and you don't like to be around another person because they're not vaccinated, off of the ideology, because it can't be off the science. That literally doesn't make sense. You're the vaccinated one. You should have no fear. Doesn't that bother you? I guess that's my question. And vice versa. If you're a Trump supporting, never get this jab, that doesn't bother you to see that you're literally being pushed into liking or disliking a human being off of their views, and you don't even know if you like them. So that's what it really was for me, right? It was that realization. One time, I forget who I was talking to, but they are so liberal. I remember thinking, like, you're a goddamn fucking retard. And that's when it clicked, because I realized, actually, that person has a PhD. They are not unintelligent at all. And you still don't believe with any of the stuff they said, but you need to watch how you're being programmed. Look how easy they made it where you felt like you had to snap on someone who either believed or didn't believe in getting the vaccine. And that's really something I think we all should put up in our chakras when it comes to New Year's resolutions. All right, baby, let's keep it going. So, number 6, find and pursue your passion with everything you have. So, just like me, I know there's a lot of YouTube creators out there. There's a lot of content creators. There's people pushing out live streams. There's people doing a lot of crazy stuff right now. The internet is moving media, and media is moving to the internet, So, basically, whatever you feel that is your desire, and I know I'm not talking to everyone, because I'm a blue collar worker. I got a lot of blue collar listeners, and a lot of men love their family so much that they don't like what they do. They know they don't, and their pride and joy allows them to do it. They're proud in their pride and their joy, and they get off on the love of their family from it, So I'm not talking to you guys. I salute you guys, and I respect you guys. I'm talking to the dreamers out there. I'm talking to those people who have always had a goal or always had a dream or, always quit their job to start their own business. Like, this is the year. Go all in, Go all in, because our actual Federal Reserve money system is minimal more than just an imaginary printing machine. Bitcoin and all cryptocurrencies are under extreme volatility, which is a bad thing, just so you guys know. If it shoots up, that means it can shoot down, down. Your whole existence in this world and the way the government runs in the country you were born in is finite. And actually, now we can see it will end no matter what at some point. Maybe after my life, maybe not after, It is so important, I feel, that, if I were to drop dead from a booster shot, if I were to drop dead from COVID-19, I just want to make sure for myself, and I would like to encourage for others, that you drop dead knowing you were doing everything to go after what your passion was, because you live in a simulation and it's being ran by autocratic money minions that are forcibly putting you into a system of slavery, and you died not participating. Ooh. All I gotta say is a warrior only dies one death. Yep. And that would be you right then, baby. Immortalized. All right, so we are gonna go to our last and final chakra, which is, I think right at the crown. Increase the amount of joy and laughter in others' lives, and it will translate and bleed over into yours. So, that is my last resolution, actually. That's my last resolution of the year, is that I want to focus on increasing the joy I want to increase the joy of others around me. And as a young man, as a child, I was extremely self-centered. Increasing my joy was the number one part of my life, and it led to extreme obesity. It led to drug dependency, over or opiate overuse disorder. It led to a whole bunch of negative behaviors, you know, because hedonism, things that are pleasurable, they can lead to the opposite side. They always do. You know, what goes up must come down. Even something like cannabis, you know, there is negative effects of some kind from smoking, you know, the inhalation of the plant. No matter what, you're going to find a reason, you know? You're going to find something, baby. So, I just want to keep my focus on increasing the joy in the people around my life. And I want to do so for selfish reasons, because I believe that if I can really harness the ability to quit focusing on myself so much and focus on, you know, my friends, my family, you know, my mom, my dad. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Maybe not so much my mom. Actually, I'm gonna cut that out. I'm just gonna be honest. And not so much my mom. She's pretty demon-hearted. I don't know. I think that would make. I don't know. Maybe I'll probably figure it out. But for the majority of humans, you know, run it. I think that will bring me more joy. I think I will get blessed with more joy from the universe, or God, or a Yahweh, or Lucifer, Satan, Saturn, Spaghetti Monster, Buddha, all the Hindu gods, whatever your thing is. I do believe that, like, the physics of our reality is set up in place that it's a give and take, you know? And the more positive you put out in this world, the more positive things probably will jump back at you with high intelligence and hard work, you know? Like, there isn't a lot of people, you know, I remember my science teacher told me this story. He said that his ex-wife, her first husband, he went to high school with them. He said he was a cool kid, a jock. He drank all the time, didn't do his homework, and the guy dropped out of school, right? He didn't have a lot of money. His parents didn't come from money, but what he did is he had $3,000. He took that and he bought this old-ass, junky Mater truck, right? He bought the truck and he started picking up junk around Howell and around Brighton. And, you know, he ended up getting 2 trucks. 2 trucks ended up turning into 20 trucks that were waste management trucks. And you know that green waste management? If you're around here, you know, that's him, right? And I just remember I was enamored by this story when my biology teacher was telling me it, because I hated school. And I was like, that's me, right? And then he proceeded to finish the story by saying, I know many multimillionaires just like him, and he's the only one I know that dropped out of school and made it. Yeah. And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh, dude, I don't want to be him. The probability, you know? The math hit me. You know, the math hit me, and I jumped out the bath, and I decided that that's the most important crown chakra, at least for me. In 2022, I am going to try to bring more laughter, and I'm going to try to bring more joy into the lives of the people around me. I'm going to be less self-serving, and I think it's going to be more self-serving. You know what I mean? I think it's going to end up being more self-serving in the end. Helping others, focused on them, will in turn come on back to me. Oh, I needed to bring this up because it is phenomenal to me. So, weeks now, I've been going on about a Latin American man. I thought he was Dominican. Sources were wrong. I guess he's an island boy, you know what I'm saying? From Cuba, 110 years, outrageous sentence for an accident. Could have even been a malfunction of the vehicle. Yeah, he was facing 110 years, already sentenced, and out of nowhere, big booty Kimmy Kardashian. You know what I mean? So I guess she just passed the bar, and she got his sentence reduced down to, at least from what I saw. You know what I'm saying? Fact checkers out there, go ahead and fact check me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I love getting corrected when I'm wrong. All right? He got it reduced down to 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. 10 years in prison. Now, in my personal opinion, as long as this is true, I want to make this statement. That's totally fair. Listen, guys. If you think 10 years is a long time, you think that because it is. But in the spectrum of things, the 4 human beings that he might have accidentally ended their lives, they get no more breaths. They get no more wake-ups. They don't get any more trays. They don't get to play. They play nothing. You know, Mexican train out the window. They don't get nothing. So, even though he did not intend to do this, unless they can prove without a shadow of a doubt that there was an actual malfunction, I think that 10 years is suffice. He's only 26 years old, 36 when he gets out. That's plenty of life left. You know what I mean? That I want to say that I am proud of, ladies and gentlemen. And go ahead, Kim. All right, go ahead. It's interesting because you have gotten ahead in life from giving head in life, actually. And that's where I first learned about you. I remember, because I didn't know who the beat you were, I literally saw the show. I was like, why did we care? And they said, yo, this girl fucked Ray J and it's online. And that's what did it for me, yo. Yo, that's how famous Brandy and Ray J used to be. You were shit. You know what I mean? You were nothing. And you had to suck that fucking monkey donkey dick of his to even get your name out there. You know? And now, no one even knows who Ray J is. I think they kind of might know from Raycomp, like the headphones or whatever. But nobody knows who the hell he is. Everybody knows you. Everybody knows Kanye, knows your sisters, the whole shebang. So thank you so much for supporting, a Latin American brother. Even though he wasn't from our island, he was from our island, and it's good. You know, you're doing good, and that's what I like to see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the 7, whatever it's called, New Year's changes that at least I wrote down and I think is important. And also, I'm a person who usually always does my, mine. Because a lot of people just, they go to the gym half the time and they don't really do it. I don't write mine down unless I mean them. And, I definitely wouldn't have said them to you guys unless I did. So, just make sure you guys check out Chop Talk on Spotify. There's a bunch of videos on there because, my man Mitch, the Jew, he has video on his podcast, Chop Talk. Y'all, just in case you don't see me again, I wanted to tell you good evening, good afternoon, and good night.